Welcome back to Retired Moments with Kris and Dave, and I finished another Aunt Dimity book. This one is Aunt Dimity and the Deep Blue Sea. I really enjoyed it. So it talks a little bit about Scotland in this one, so it's interesting. Of course, I like all the Aunt Dimity books so far. So this one, inside this one, it has the recipe for Sir Percy's favorite sticky lemon cake. Again, it's a simple recipe. It's not big. It's just a simple little cake. So Dave will be happy when I get it made because he likes lemony desserts like lemon pie and things like that. So he probably will enjoy this one. But we will get this one cooked. I do have some more Aunt Dimity books to read. And I have some more that I ordered, including her new one, which is book number 25. So I have that on order. I should be getting it next week, but probably be a while before I get to it because I have so many other books to read before then. And the other thing is, too, I did want to mention, I'll try to remember to put it down in the description. You can get these recipes online. At Aunt Dimity's World, and so all the recipes are printed on there. I haven't seen for book 25 yet, the last time I checked, but it has all these other recipes in there, and then you can even print them out if you want to make these. You don't have to buy the books, but I do highly recommend the books, especially if you like mysteries. They're very interesting mysteries. So anyway, let's get cooking. Okay, so this is a really simple recipe. They're all simple recipes. But it starts out with 3/4 of a cup, which is 1.5 cubes of butter. And it says to cream it, so you cream it until smooth. Of course, you want it at room temperature. Being that it's winter, it's a little cold still. And then after you cream it so it's smooth, you add 1 cup of sugar. And then also 1.5 teaspoons of, it says lemon peel. This is zest. I didn't put the whole peel in. The peel has the white pith part, and I don't like that. So I'm just using the zest. 1 lemon had about 3 teaspoons or a tablespoon of zest on it. So I can get a second cake out of this, which I'm going to make one for Kason. So, and then you whip this into coffee. Messy here. I think I'm going to change to a little bit bigger bowl. Just 1 second. Okay, so bring it back to work here with a little bit bigger bowl, and let's get it smooth. It's flying all over the place. I need a deeper mixing bowl, and I do have one, but I'm not going to get it out. Okay, so once you get that well mixed, excuse the mess, it wasn't messy when I started. When you get it well mixed, then you want to start adding an egg. And it takes 2 eggs, so you add the first egg and whip it good, and then some of the flour. Now it takes 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour, you can actually make it. I used unbleached all-purpose flour. It's an unbleached. I can't even think of what it's called, but I use this unbleached flour, but for every 1 cup of flour, I mix a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then, so what I do is I just make kind of a bunch at a time. I make about 4 cups at a time, and then keep it in the baggie and use it. But it takes 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour. So again, you add an egg, and then the flour, just 1 egg. Do 1 at a time. And mix it in. Then add in about half of the flour. Over half, sorry. Make sure to mix it well. But then after you mix the flour in good, you mix the rest of the other egg, and then the rest of the flour. So from the sides to make sure we get it all mixed well. And it doesn't make a big cake. It's only, it says use an 8-inch square pan. I'm using an 8-inch round cake pan. So it's just, my pan's just a little bit different, but I will keep an eye on it as it bakes. And then we finish getting it mixed well, and then we will put it in the pan and pop it in the oven. pan. Just scraping it all in. Smooth it out. And if there's any professional cooks and chefs and stuff out there, I'm not a professional. Never went to culinary school. Just kind of learned by watching others, namely my grandma. She loved to cook a lot, and I liked hanging out in the kitchen with her and watching her cook and everything. So I always enjoyed being with my grandma in her kitchen. So, you know, of course they grew up during the Great Depression, so they learned to make a lot of recipes out of whatever they could find. And my grandma was pretty good at that. And my great aunt Lois, her sister. So, anyways, I'm going to spread this in this pan. Again, it's thick. It is a thick batter, just to give you a warning on that. So it's not. I mean, it might be thinner if your butter is more room temperature than mine. Like I said, it is cold. It's winter time, so it's cold. So room temperature right now is kind of on the cold side for us, but let's see. So we got it in the pan. Now I'm going to pop it in the oven. Let's see, it says to bake how long? Well, it says bake about 25 minutes. So I will pop it in the oven and we'll see how it goes. Oops. There. Okay. So this cake, it reminds me of one my grandma used to make when I was growing up. She'd make a lemon poke cake. She'd use, I think it was lemon jello, and she'd poke holes in the cake with the back of the, you know, the spoon, the round part of a wooden spoon. And so this is what this is reminding me of, because you do poke holes in it. Now it says to use a toothpick to poke holes. I'm going to be using a chopstick because it's a little bit bigger. So just to give you a warning on that. And for the glaze, it takes a half a cup of sugar. And then in that, which the cake is still baking right now, so I want to make sure that my sugar gets dissolved. That's why I'm making this now. And then it takes a quarter cup of lemon juice. So it says fresh squeezed. I just buy the real lemon juice, you know, the bottles you get in the fridge, because I use lemon juice when I do my canning for certain products. But it says you just take the two and you mix them until the sugar is dissolved. So this is something you can do while you're waiting for the cake to cook, to just kind of get it going, get it ready to go, because you do pour it on the cake while it's still hot. You pull the cake out of the pan, pull the cake out of the oven, and then you put it on a cooling rack, but then you poke the holes in it and then pour the glaze over the cake. So with that in mind, I'm going to get this going. It's mixed, and then I'm just going to let it kind of sit a bit to help that sugar dissolve, and then I'll just kind of mix it every few minutes to make sure the sugar gets dissolved. And then when the cake's ready, we will come back for the rest. Sure.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kind of caved in the middle. It's probably because I could have done a better job of mixing things. Yep. It's coming out clean. So, okay. So, there. Turn it all off. So, we have it out. It is cool. It's kind of sunken in. I could have mixed my butter and sugar a little bit better. Probably would have fixed that problem. But now it is time for the topping. And one of the things the recipe does mention is you could always top it with some powdered sugar or some like whipped cream or some lemon custard or something. We don't have whipped cream, we don't have lemon custard. Not that I would use lemon custard, I think I like it as is. But Dave wants just a little bit of powdered sugar on it, so I'll put some powdered sugar on it. Next step is it's out of the oven, it's nice and hot, so I'm going to go through and just poke some holes in it. Kind of space them a little bit apart, but not too far apart. And again, it says use a toothpick, but I am using a chopstick to poke my holes. So get those nice and poked, and then now it's done. We will find out.
Didn't stick.
It came out clean, so it did. And then you take your orange and lemon juice. Then make sure you mix it again. It's kind of thick. It's kind of a syrup, so it's just to give you a heads up. It is syrupy. And then you pour it on the hot cake. Let it get in all those little nooks and crannies, all those little holes you poked. I'm trying to put it more on the outside because it's just going to pull on the center anyway. But again, it's a poke cake, so again, it reminds me of the lemon cake my grandma made when I was growing up. So, but that's it. So that's the cake. I will let it set for a few minutes. Let the syrup soak in, and then we will put a little bit of powdered sugar on it and give it a taste. So we are ready to cut a piece of the cake out and put a little bit of powdered sugar on it, just a little bit, and give it a try. And of course I have Dave here because he's the lemon lover. So we will try this cake. Oh my gosh. So it's like falling apart because I think the syrup, it's just too much syrup, to be quite honest, because it was a lot of syrup. So the cake is falling apart. That's okay. We don't mind. We are pretty... it's not a beauty contest. So.
It reminds me of that commercial where it says, "Eat it with a fork, but you can eat it with a fork, but use a spoon so you can get every bite."
Yeah. Let's see. We'll put just a little bit of powdered sugar on, just a little dusting. There we go. Okay.
Okay, you want to try some too?
Yeah, I'll try some too. Go ahead. Let's see how it tastes.
Should have got the spoon. All right, there we go.
There you go. Okay,
Right,
here we go.
3, 2, 1. I love lemon.
Oh, it is good. It is very good, but it is sweet because it has so much sugar in it. But this is a small piece and we're sharing it, so it's not
Very good.
not that bad. But it is very delicious. So we're going to enjoy this for quite a few days. It'll take us that long to get through it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I think Aunt Dimity would be proud of me again. But I hope you enjoy the recipe. Again, I'll try to put the link down below. My memory's not all that sometimes. To where you can get the recipe online. And it is at Aunt Dimity's World. So if you ever want to check out what Aunt Dimity is about, you can always go to that website and check out what the books are about, the author, things like that. So it is her website. And if you make it, I hope you enjoy. Take care.
The fork has been dropped. Yee! Love you, Lori. Just not making fun of you. Just...
We love your videos, Lori.